Ladies and gentlemen, gamers and gamerinas, the Copenhagen Major is almost here, and it's once again time to do some pick'ems. The pick'ems this year is free to play for everyone, but to get the benefits like souvenir packages and upgrading your coin, you will of course still have to buy the pass. So let's just get right into it. I think one important change to note from previous years is that obviously the design is different, which is nice, but more importantly, now, previously, if you, like, let's say you thought ENS was going to go 3-0, but you didn't want to put him in the 3-0 bracket because you weren't quite sure. You put him here, they go 3-0, you would still get the point, right? That's not the case anymore. So this year, we have to actually pick the teams that are going 3-0 that we think, instead of picking like a dark horse that may or may not qualify, but they could also go 3-0, right? Like maybe somebody like Furia. I know this has been a very popular 3-0 pick in the past because they are kind of hit or miss sometimes. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the teams as I see it right now, and then we'll take a look at all of the brackets afterwards, like how the games are actually going to shape up, and then maybe we'll make some changes to this in the end. So let's see here. ENS, I feel pretty confident that they're going to go 3-0. Probably the team that I feel the best about right now. I think Glaive has been doing really solid work with this new Polish roster that he has. Everybody's kind of performing. Glaive is calling well. I think that's as safe as a 3-0 pick can be. I think ENS is looking pretty good for that. The next one is pretty much between these three. I think Fear is a little bit, like I said, hit or miss for me to choose them as 3-0. I think they're definitely going to stumble at some point. So let's see, between Heroic and Cloud9, I feel like the more likely 3-0 pick is Cloud9. And then we can kind of just start going down the line here. I think these teams should be qualifying. Furia, like I said, hit or miss, but definitely good enough to advance. Heroic have been kind of overperforming, I think, compared to what people were expecting of them. Eternal Fire has been doing very well lately. Apex, also good enough to qualify in my opinion. They could get pushed out, let's see. And then from here it gets a little bit more difficult, but I think 9 Pandas really surprised me with how well they did in the RMR, knocking out Astralis amongst others. Saw has been playing very well. Imperial could be a contender. Mongols, Pain, I'm not really feeling. Mongols have been playing very well in Asia. That might be a pick. I'm not really feeling any of these teams for the or to advance. Ecstatic could maybe do it. MCal, possibly. I think it's going to be Saw. So now we need to figure out who's going to go 0-3. That feels like a tough task. 3-0, as difficult as that seems, is somehow a lot easier than 0-3, because 0-3 means eventually you're going to have to be in the 0-2 bracket and you're going to face another team that's not doing very well. So I think not Ecstatic, like I mentioned. I think none of these. MCal probably not either. Could be Linvision. So we have Legacy and Koi and Linvision probably to choose between, and I think we're probably going to go like this. So this is my initial thoughts, and then if we jump over here, this is the actual seeding and the bracket. So basically, if every favorite wins every match, this is how it's going to shape up. So let's just look at the differences here. For starters, Eternal Fire would be advancing 3-0. 9 Pandas would be going through instead of Mongols, and Koi and Legacy would actually still be 0-3. So if every favorite wins, we're still going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points. Okay, so let's just, we'll be betting on every favorite in that case. But let's see how the matches are actually shaping up and if we think that this is going to hold true. So let's just go over it real quick. Cloud9, Ecstatic. I definitely favor Cloud9 in that one. Eternal Fire, Mongols. Mongols could beat Eternal Fire, but I don't think that they will. But I definitely think that they could. But I'm not saying they're gonna. ENS, Imperial, I'm confident ENS is gonna win. Apex, Pain, I feel like Apex is gonna win that. Heroic, Linvision, Heroic is gonna win that game. 9 Pandas, MCal, 60-40 in favor of 9 Pandas. Saw versus Koi, I feel like Saw's got that one in the bag. Furia, Legacy, Furia to win that one. Keep in mind, these are best of ones, and this is why things sometimes can really get out of whack, just because best of ones are not always super reliable. So do with that what you will. Cloud9 versus Furia. Again, Fury on their day can beat anybody, but I definitely will pick Cloud9 to win this game. Eternal Fire Saw. Another 60-40 in favor of Eternal Fire. ENCE 9 Pandas. I've got ENCE winning this. Apex Heroic. This one is a little more 50-50, maybe 51-49 in favor of Heroic. I think I'm actually going to change that one to Heroic. So we now have, so this obviously, as you can see here, this changes a bunch of things down the bracket. So Ecstatic Legacy, we will go with Ecstatic in this one. Mongols Koi will be in favor of Mongols. Imperial, MCAL, I'm going to stick with Imperial here. Pain Gaming, Linvision, I'm going to stick with Pain. So now we go to the 2-0. So this will decide who goes to 3-0. I'll try to be impartial when keeping in mind that we already picked Cloud9 and ENCE to win this, but I think Cloud9 should beat Heroic. With what we've seen from both of them lately, they're both doing well. I just think Cloud9 is doing better. Even without having an actual Opper, Cloud9 has really been playing some good Counter-Strike. So I think Cloud9 over Heroic. Eternal Fire versus ENCE. Oh, man. This one is a little bit difficult, I will say. But I think I will change this to ENCE in the end. So that means that match for match, we still get our 3-0 picks here to be the same as we did initially. So let's keep going down the line, see if anything changes. Apex versus Imperial. I'll stick with Apex. 9 Pandas, Pain Gaming. I will stick with 9 Pandas. Saw versus the Mongols. This one is kind of 50-50 as well, but I might stick with Saw on this. Furia Ecstatic, 60-40, 65-35 in favor of Furia. Linvision Legacy. This one, honestly, is a toss-up for me. We'll leave it as is and say that Linvision wins this game. MCAL Koi, I think MCAL is going to win that game. So now we're going to go to the 2-1 bracket to find a couple teams, 3 teams in fact, that's going to advance. Eternal Fire versus Furia. I'm going to stick with Eternal Fire. Heroic Saw. We'll stick with Heroic. 9 Pandas Apex. I'm actually not sure why Apex is picked already here, since they look to be lower seeded somehow, but that's not, but they're seeded better. This might be just a mistake from the website, but I think we'll stick with Apex. I'm not sure, because as you can see, Apex is seeded lower here, but they're seeded higher over here. We'll stick with Apex on this one. Imperial versus Linvision. We're sticking with Imperial. By the way, this all means that Eternal Fire, Heroic, and Apex are going to qualify for the Legend stage. So Imperial over Linvision, Ecstatic over MCAL. I'm going to stick with that. Pain Gaming Mongols. Again, this is a similar thing. I'm not sure why this is happening, but this is actually what we're going to stick with. Mongols to beat Pain Gaming. By the way, we already also have Koi and Legacy in the 0-3. So Koi and Legacy 0-3, Cloud9 and ENCE 3-0. That's exactly what we had initially. So now we are into the final stage here, the 2-2. So it's basically you win or you are out. Fury Mongols. I will go with Fury in this one. Ecstatic 9 Pandas. I think I'll stick with 9 Pandas. And Saw Imperial. I think I'll stick with Saw. So let's see what changed compared to our initial picks. As mentioned, the 3-0s and the 0-3s are the same. Eternal Fire, Heroic, Apex, 9 Pandas, Furia, and Saw to qualify. So this means that 9 Pandas, according to this bracket, will qualify over our pick of Mongols, and the rest actually stayed the same. So now the question is, do we want to swap the Mongols for 9 Pandas? I am not sure. This is so basically this is what I picked initially. That was my initial thought, and then down to the games. Technically I should be picking this, right, because that's what the games were showing us. But that bracket, keep in mind, can change so fast. Like if 2 games go different than we thought they would go, the whole thing just changes up completely. I think for that reason, I'll end up sticking with Mongols. Lock it in. Diamond coin guaranteed. You heard it here first. That's it. I'm leaving. Peace.